we're going to talk about provisional versus non-provisional patent applications. But before I forget, if you find value in this video, we read every comment and base our future videos on questions you have. And we'd love to hear how our videos help you to understand this challenging topic. So why file a provisional patent application? First of all, a provisional patent application is effectively a placeholder. It's a placeholder at the patent office where you establish your priority. You establish initial protection for your idea that lasts for up to a year. And that gives you some time to develop your concept more fully while you have that priority. And also, it's less involved to prepare a provisional application, and therefore it's less expensive. And in fact, since the provisional patent application is not reviewed or is not examined by the patent office, you're going to delay those examination costs until later. In fact, until you actually file that non-provisional application. But one of the downsides is that it slows down the patent grant in that it's not going to be reviewed. So it's not going to get assigned to an examiner to be reviewed until you file that non-provisional application. But again, the benefit is it gives you patent pendency for up to a year, and it's less costly. But then why would you file a non-provisional patent application in the beginning or at all? So first of all, you have to eventually file a non-provisional patent application if you do want to get patent protection. The provisional is just a placeholder. The non-provisional is actually the path toward getting the full patent granted. But one of the benefits of doing a non-provisional patent application first is that it's a faster path toward getting your patent granted. But again, the downside there is that you're going to encounter the examination costs more quickly. The application is going to get assigned to an examiner. It is going to get reviewed. And then there may be further expenses in either dealing with a rejection, or even if it's approved, there are issuance fees that are going to need to be paid. And that's going to come along more quickly if you file the non-provisional application initially. One of the features of the non-provisional is that the patent pendency will be greater than the year that you'd get for the provisional. It's going to be pending for as long as you go with this application towards either abandoning it because it's just not going to be granted after trying to convince the patent office to grant it, or it getting approved. So the patent pendency is going to be longer, and in fact, assuming you get the patent approved, it's going to lead toward that 20-year patent grant, toward that 20-year utility patent term. And the utility application also is going to enter the examination queue. So in other words, you file the utility application, it's going to be assigned to an examiner, it is going to be reviewed, and so that's one of the benefits of filing the utility application. You could even speed up the examination. You could get expedited examination using certain programs or under certain circumstances. And so that's available to you with a non-provisional, clearly not with a provisional, because again, you file a provisional and it just sits there. And so in terms of the time gap between preparation costs and examination costs, again, with a provisional, it gets filed and it just sits there and it waits for you to take further action. With a utility application, it actually gets things moving towards getting a patent. Now, some of the strategies you might use with this, first of all, is that you could file the provisional application at an early stage to establish a priority in your invention while you develop a prototype, while you work out the details of your invention. And so you file at an early stage with the concept, and then you let it develop over time and use that final development, that final version in the utility patent application. But remember, a provisional application or even a utility application is only as good as it is well written. The problem comes up, though, with provisionals more often in that people recognize that the provisional is not going to be examined. And so they put together a quick description, they file it, they get back a filing receipt, and they say, oh, I'm patent pending. Yes, but if you ever need to rely on that document for priority, it's going to be scrutinized for how well it was written. And so by the time you find out that it wasn't written well enough, it's probably too late. It will definitely be too late. So really the caveat there the filing strategy is that if you're going to do a provisional application, make sure that it's well written, make sure that it's comprehensive, and that's what's going to effectively establish priority for you. And so in sum, that's provisional versus non-provisional patents. If you're a business focused and looking to build a patent portfolio to increase your company valuation, go to goldsteinpatentlaw.com/apply and schedule your complimentary patent portfolio strategy session with one of our expert business strategists.